Okay, everybody, welcome back. It's B-Live here. Um, I've decided to record some EverQuest. I haven't played in a long time, but I think I'm going to try to play a little bit. So I'm going to make a new character. This is on the Vox Server, standard rule set, and a free account, not paying a subscription. But I think we're going to do a Necromancer. I'm going to use a Drakkin race here, and we're going to go Necromancer. And the appearance is okay. I don't care about that. Um, Stats really don't matter. Used to long time ago. Stats really matter now. With all the gear you can get, it really doesn't matter. Just play what you like, what you prefer. In this instance, I'm gonna go with a Drakkin. I'm gonna go through the tutorial. Oh, gotta name myself. And just play, see how it goes. Give me just a moment. How about that? Here we go. Now I'm going to go kind of slow, go through the quest. I don't know if I'm going to read every quest. Um, every quest is a little different in their quest system. But we're going to go through it. I'm going to try to explain what I can. So the kobold of gloomy deep dig far below the surface of Norath, greedy for treasure and dark secrets of the depths, they recklessly expand their slave raids towards the nearby settlements of your homeland. Many have already been captured, few have escaped, fearing the further approach of the gloomy deep raiding parties. Your kindred have chosen you to journey to your home city and deliver a plea for help. As the gods would have it, you are captured long before you reach the capital, alone and far from home. You find yourself beneath the lash of the gloomy deep kobold. You are relentlessly questioned about the note you are carrying. Regardless of your answer, the kobolds pummel you between interrogations. As the hours pass, hope for survival fades. Soon you slip into unconsciousness. Kind of reminds me of the start for like a Skyrim game or something. All right, so basic movements: W, A, S, and D, space to jump. Pretty self-explanatory there. Click OK to begin a tutorial. I'm not going to read through all of this, but basically, it's giving you the basics of how to look around, how to move, use your arrow keys, how to click on an NPC to target, and then how to talk to them, which you'll hail them, which mine is defaulted to the H key. And then in EverQuest, most of your quest text is going to be down here. And then there's keywords that you can click on. Like here it tells you, tell RS on what to escape. You can type that in here. I want to escape. Or you can click the keyword in the chat. And we're going to move that up here. And a taskbar. I'm going to redo everything once we get out of this little section here. So now we have to go find the jailer. RS is helping us here. Scroll wheel to zoom in and out. Go into first person. I have mine set to tab to target. and you can change all that in the settings, which I highly recommend. We're going to cast shielding, minor shielding, and then auto attack, melee attack, because that's what I have. And then life tab to steal some health. Loot the key, and then give the key. Now, my settings are B to bring up inventory. In the backpack, it's also I for inventory. I have mine also bound to B to bring up my bags as well. Give the key to RS, yes. Give. And then once you do that, you click OK. That takes you into the main area, to the slave revolt. And then I'm going to go in and take a few minutes to set everything up and explain, how I set my keys and stuff. So you can go in, if you played with another character and you're making an alt and you have your layout set up, you can copy the layout from another character, which I'm going to do now. Takes a minute to load. There we go. And see, I spread out my main in combat so I can keep track of it. Health bar, target bar. And my mercenary, when I have it, will be here. Spells, effects, songs. Alright, now, one thing I always do, hit abilities page, and I go in and select open. And then I bind a key to this, which I think is right here. Let's go look just to make sure. Hotbar 1. Yep. 12 is auxiliary mouse 1, or my middle mouse button. And I do that because I see, when I play, I see a lot of people going up to barrels and stuff to open them. And you can fight them. You can hit them, destroy them to open, like this barrel here. But what I like to do is hit my open button, and that'll open it. It doesn't work on this one. That's a special one. But so over here is your basic training. First one, Hill RS to learn about the find the path. So we'll do that. And he wants us to go find Absor and learn about weapons. What I normally do is I turn around and talk to this guy about crafting. It's in the optional here, and I quest log here, which I usually open up. Hell Physnic, learn about trade skills. So it's a deal. And again, if you don't want to play, you can, if you don't want to go through the tutorial, you can jump in and he can send you there and send you out. You just tell him you wish. That's talking to Arius here. If you don't want to go through the tutorial, you can tell him you wish to leave and he'll teleport you out. There is, of course, another way to get out. We'll go over that later. So we want to talk to Physnic about making rat sticks. And again, you can click that and that'll say rat sticks for you. And then he'll hand you stuff. And then, so to craft, normally what you would do, and you can read all that if you want to, but you would click on the crafting station, and to regular craft, a lot of your recipes will come up here, and you would click on what recipe you want to do, and it'll tell you what you need. Like for rat steaks, we already have the items there, so you can combine them at 100% and you get your rat steaks. I usually just eat them because they don't do anything for you. It's just to teach you how to do crafting. The other way you can do it is when he gives you the items, we can do it again. Rat steak. And he'll give you the items again. Is when you have the items, you can go to experiment and put the items here, combine them. It'll do the same thing. However you want to do it. And it hold right click and that'll show you what these items are. It is a hearty meal and it gives you extra 5 hit points, so it's not bad, but you really don't need it. But I usually will follow down this path here. I'll talk to her. Hale. She gives you an armor on your mouse button. You can see it on my mouse right here. Open inventory, drop it in. That wears it. Some items you have to click the slot. Some you can click in the middle and it'll auto put it. You have to experiment with it. And then she's going to tell me others. That's for doing bandages. If you get silk, gleaming silk, you can bring it to her so that she can make bandages, but she will give you armor. It's pretty useless. I don't ever do it. I just sell it. And then I'll go talk to Poxon. He basically lost his sword. So it's teaching you about swimming. I usually zoom in for this because it's easier to direct. Pick it up, drop it in your inventory, swim back up, zoom back out, hand him the sword, and he gives you a mask. The mask is nothing special, it just gives you a couple armor class. And then we'll talk to this troll, Bashir Aga. I usually move this up here to hit that easier. And then you can minimize this window so you don't have to close it, which is nice. I usually stick mine up here out of the way because it's also here. What am I doing? Hail. Hot bars. So a lot of these, you hail them, there's nothing to click. If you hail them again, it brings it back up and you can click through, and she actually gives you an item, a totem. Now the totem, if you right click on it and hold it, increases your run speed. So that's a little speed buff. And I usually will stick it down here, hold my left button to make it into a button, and then stick it somewhere over here. And then you click it, and that will cast it, and then you get a 5-minute speed buff. Nothing major. And we'll talk to Flutterwing here, who wants you to go find the siblings, which are in eggs. And we'll take that quest. And we'll talk to Rashir. All these are optional. You don't have to do them. Some of these are not. Like Prathan here. That's a main. You got to talk to him. Right hand, which is over here. Way over there. And Zaneta, which is over there. But that's why I picked up that mushroom over here is for her. But we'll do that. Hail him. This is about binding your soul so that when you die, or if you're a mage and you gate, you'll come back to where you bind your soul. So we want to do that here. You will here anyway because you're bound here regardless. But you can bind your soul anywhere and then return back to that location. Prathan is just going to go and tell you about forming groups, how to talk to players, out of character shout, things like that. New windows, chat filters, joining chat, auto chat. I don't mess with a lot of chat. Most of the times I'm playing solo anyway. So, and then Elegist is where you're going to get a mercenary. That's this window here. We're going to hail him. He's going to talk about the different mercenaries, tanks, and healers. There's a ton of different mercenaries you can get. Here, all you're going to get is a tank or a healer. For me, because I'm a necromancer and I'm going to have a pet that's going to do most of the tanking, we're going to go healer. Healer, if I get the right one. This will tell you what it costs. Eventually, it'll cost money. Right now, it's a free hireling. And the free ones are apprentices. They're not good. If you're paid subscription, you get the journeyman. And you can also pick from either a tank, a healer. I think you do melee DPS, which are rogues, and then ranged DPS, which are mages or wizards. Here, all you're going to get is a choice between tank and healer. And for our purposes, we're going to do healer. She should come out, immediately cast a buff on us. Or her, then me. Boom, there it is. Courage. Which if you hold your right click down, pull it up, it'll tell you this is a hit point armor class buff. Doesn't tell you what it does, but it tells you what it is. And then now that we bought that, we're going to talk to him again to tell him, hey, we did that. And then group roles. All right, and then he wants us to go take out one of these kobolds over here. So we'll do that in a moment. Abster's on your list. Basically with him, you're going to hail him. He's going to make you a better weapon. So you go to your inventory, pull out your weapon, drop it on him, and he will buff it. Now it's a sharpened dagger. Does a little better damage. And then for her, you hail her, she's going to tell you that she's trying to make healing potions, so she needs that mushroom. Normally, I pick it up in the beginning because I know I'm going to need it, but you would run back over here, grab one of these blue things, stick it in your inventory, run back over to her, grab it, hand it to her, and that completes that quest. Scribe Farquhar, you want to hail him. He's going to tell you about the achievements, right? So hail him again, learn about the achievement types. There's a ton of achievements to go through. Click through, he'll pop up with a experience or money. I typically take the experience. I think you get both anyway. And then, so eventually you're going to get a quest where you come back to her. Her option was talk to this guy. If you talk to him now, it's not going to matter. But this is where you're going to right click to select this guy. He sells a bunch of stuff. Right now, I really can't afford anything. But this is where you're going to sell to. And then you always want to go to your banker. Again, right click on them to activate. Brings up your banker, and he gives you a free bag. Now, I have some in my shared slot, so I'm going to take those. This is a guild letter that you would take to get a, it's old. Before all the Gloomy Deep mines and all the new armor sets and things like that, you would take this to your guild master and he would give you some armor. It's only about 2 ACs, not worth it. You still want to get rid of it. You can either delete it, not worry about it, or you can do it to get the armor. It doesn't matter. Get like 0.07% of a XP, so it's not much, but you can get some XP with it. I usually keep it. And then right hand will explain about spells and the song window and the effects window. And then he will also, if you tell him you want to be blessed, he will give you a buff. It overwrites what your cleric will give you or your healer, but that's no big deal. And then depending on your class, he will either give you a spell or a melee tome. And then for when he gives it to you, it's going to show up on your mouse pointer. Go to your book and then click on a spot and that'll place it. And you click and get to select it and put it in a gem slot. And I'm going to move these around here in just a moment. And I didn't show you, but let's right click to get rid of that. To see the progress, it's really slow right here. Going down. This gets a lot faster later on. But to get rid of the spell, you right click it, that'll empty the slot, and then you can long hold a left button, and that will select it as a button to drag over here. And now you just stick them down here. Move that to here, move that to here. Again, long press picks it up, and you can move it. Now, sit and stand, I have keyed to X for me, so I can hit it without hitting a button. And then spells is the same if you hit this or hit your book button over here. It's the same. And then we're going to talk to Guard Vryn and pick up her quest for Spider Caves and talk to Guard Rahit or Ratiz. I don't know these names. I'll probably butcher them. And he'll give you a clearing of vermin nest. Now, this list here, I usually will click this button to get rid of it. And the Flutterwing quest, because I don't need to see those because they're here. And I don't need them here. You can drag your windows around. But if you click on it here, it puts it back in your list. If you click it, it'll take it off. I don't need to see what this is because I've done this many, many times. But he'll tell you, finish the quest, clear the vermin nest, and then her Vryn will tell you to the spider caves. I already have them. I don't need to see that, so I will turn it off. I just want to see these. Again, minimize that. And then, now this one, Halo Priest, he is way back over here on the other side of the lake. This is going to get loud when we get close to that. And he will pull any of your if you die, you leave a corpse behind. Used to, you would have to pull your corpses over here so you could loot them. Nowadays, you don't have to do that because I don't think you don't lose your items anymore. I don't believe up to maybe a certain level, maybe. I don't recall, but in the early stages of your life, up to at least level 10 for sure you don't lose your items when you die. Used to, all your items would be on your corpse, and you'd have to run to your corpse to get everything, to get all your loot back. Now they've changed it, quality of life and all that stuff. So now we're going to run through here. This is how you would exit. This is a cave to exit. A sign here. Don't know what that sign does. What does that sign do? I don't know. But here's the Cobalt Infiltrator. We want to take him out. These guys are pretty easy, so no matter what your class is, pretty much everybody can take these guys out. And this is... I should be able to take this guy out. I do have a healer, so that'll help. But these are pretty basic deals, but this is EQ where it takes forever to kill anything. And if you look here, I have my damage highlighted yellow so I can see what my damages are. To do that, you would go to chat, go down to, you hit other right here, and then change the color. You can do that for everything. Like my, I think my pet spells, sometimes you have to know what you're looking for in here because a lot of these are different. But I think I have my pet spells where they're blue so I can see them. If I can, yeah, here it is. My pet hits. Oh, my pet melee. There it is. Blue. Light blue so I can see it. But you'll see that when I get my skeleton. But you can change the color of any of your text. You can change any of your keybinds. I usually don't mess with the mouse stuff. Display, one of the things I will do is turn off show my helm. I hate helms in games. I don't know why. I pretty much leave everything else the way it is. You can mess with it based on your system. And then a lot of times some people will do anonymous and roleplay. If you're listed as anonymous, like if I do /who, that'll tell me how many people are in this zone right now or what their levels are, right? This guy's AFK, level 10 Shaman, level 4 Monk, 9 Berserker, 8 Warrior, 7 Shaman, 2 Enchanter, 2 Necromancer, me. If you do anonymous and do /who, it puts you as anonymous so people can't see what you are. Some people like to do that. Oh, I need to get closer. I don't really care if people see what I am. I don't mess with it. Sometimes I will put myself in a role play if I feel like it. Right now I don't. I always turn off allow auto duck. And what that does, if you get into certain areas, it will automatically put you in a duck position where you duck down. And it is super annoying for me, so I turn that off. You can, a lot of the loot all, the fast purchase, things like that, you can mess with these. No drop items, I turn to never. Otherwise, you get a display that says, hey, do you want to pick this no drop item up? And I'm like, I do, that's why I'm picking it up. So I don't want that. Some people like it, some people don't. It's up to you. But there's a lot of these that you can go through and figure out what you want for yourself. Once you don't, still has mana and 8%. This takes forever unless you have your pet. I should have went and got the pet first, but you know, I don't have any material to cast my pet is one of my other issues. All right, we got that completed, and we go back and talk to the Elegist over there. But first, here is where we're going to buy all of our spells. Right now, I don't have any money, so I can't buy anything, although I could sell some of these bags. I'm not as of yet. There's an easy way to get coin, and we'll show you that. We're going to talk to this guy to clear out that quest. And now, Mackenzie is down here, and we'll go see him as we're fighting cave rats. Come here, you. Now, I'm going to use Siphon Strength to, if I can get it to go. That takes strength from him, gives it to me, makes me a little stronger. A little buff here. And if I need health, I can life tap. There we go. Bone chips. That's what I need. All right. That is an auto greed button. So anytime bone chips pop up. Oh, I probably don't have enough money yet. Let's finish this. Bone chips. I will take these and put them over here because I need those to cast my spells to be able to pull out my pet. My pet is going to be a skeleton. And I need those. Alright, thank you. Auto greed, auto need. I typically auto greed everything. And this guy. Cave rats, kill 8. Cave bats, kill 4. Destroy vermin nest. Now, here's what I was talking about earlier about the open button, right? Here's a vermin nest. As soon as we get done with this rat, I'll show you. I see a lot of people walk up these vermin nests, will target it and attack it like I'm doing this rat. You don't have to do that. If you target that and hit the open button, it opens it up. You get to loot what's inside, and you don't have to spend 5 minutes stabbing it with a dagger. Much faster. Matter of fact, you'll see me run through. There's areas where there's stacks of barrels, and I'll target and hit that button, except for whatever reason my button's not working. Open, and boom. It opens it, gives me what's in there. Why is that? Oh, I have it on my wrong key. That's why. So I can run up to these, hit my mouse button. But let me change that. I've got it on the wrong mouse button. I'm going to get confused if I don't change it. Oops. I want that mouse middle. And then what do I have for mouse middle? I think it's button bar 2. Yes, I want that here. Now, I have hot button bar 11 as W, which is your move key, right? Move forward. Things like forage, where you're foraging stuff, I'll put there. It auto skills it as you're moving. I don't have forage on this character. I don't worry about it. But if I need to put anything there, I can. And every time I move forward, it'll activate that skill. We got some more bone chips. We got some rat ears, rat paws, and bat wings. All these are sellable. Auto greed, auto greed. We need how many more bats? 2 more bats. You know, EverQuest is not a fast game. It is a slow game. If you're into WoW and things like that where it's fast, now look, see how somebody came up and destroyed this. I'll do it real quick. See, you attack the barrel, you'll see people doing this, and it drives me crazy because you're breaking it open, right? You don't need to do that. Just walk up to it, hit the open button, boom, stage complete. Now here's Mackenzie. This is part of your quest up here. He gives you an augment. He teaches you about augmentations, just things that you can add to your weapon. To change it, we're going to do, yes, augmentations, lesson. Yep, I'm listening. And then here's the augment on my mouse pointer, right? So you open up your inventory, hold long click right on your dagger, and drop it in this slot right here. And then what that does, it does extra 2 damage kobolds, which we're going to be fighting a lot of in this thing. And click through, and that should be, oh, we got to hail them again to tell them you finished it. And then you're done. All right, let's finish. We need one more cave bat. So what I normally do is I'll come do all the basic training quests, do the bats and rats, before I go in looking for the silk. Because silk is going to be through here where the spiders are. But you want to wait until you go up there. By the way, I'm looking around by holding my left mouse button instead of turning with my right mouse button. But you want to go back up here after you finish this area, because they have a quest that sends you in there to kill 12 spiders and get a rose from the tamer in there. So you want to pick that up before you do the Glooming Deep Cocoon Silk quest. So we want to do the quest in here first. If I can ever kill this rat. Hopefully I'll have enough I can get my pet. I always want to save one arrow out. Put that bag there. I hope I'm going to get 2 more big bags. And then I like smaller bags. It takes up less weight. And I don't have a lot. Now weight doesn't have a whole lot of matter. I mean, you can get encumbered a little bit. But you don't want to get too encumbered. Oops. Life tap. Alright. We need 4 more rats. Now you can spam life tap. I don't. But you can spam it. It does do a little bit of damage to these rats. And it will heal you. And it doesn't use a lot of mana. Basically, life tap only uses 8 mana. But it does between 5 and 6 of damage and then heals you for pretty much that amount. Which is nice. I'm going to take on this rat. And then that should be, that'll be 5, it'll be 6, I need 2 more. Now, if you look, your life tap spell fizzles. Life tap, if you click it here, will bring up, just like I did right clicking the spell. But it fizzles, so you can fizzle your spells, and everything is skill based, right? All your one-handed blunt, one-handed piercing, which I'm probably going to go one-handed blunt as soon as I can find one instead of piercing weapons. Because I think the epic weapon for the Necromancer is a one-handed blunt. About the level of 3. Even languages. You can teach people languages in this game, which you don't find that in pretty much any other game out there. Barrels back up. Every time these barrels come up, you want to loot them. The reason for that is because of this bow right here. You get this bow, it's good for rangers, but it sells for a plat. And so you can leave here with 100 plat, which is enough to buy all your spells and get fairly equipped. Close that, close this. This will be rat number 7. Little fish, probably a monk, I would imagine. Ixar. Life tap. And I'm back to 100. Alright, one more rat. Now, you know, the ring around this guy is white. If you con him, which is my C button, it tells you what level they are. It used to not do that. But typically white is going to be your level. If I click this bat, what you see is blue. Con him, he's level 1, right? He's a level below me. Dark blue is under you. White is pretty much same level. Yellow is above you. Red is pretty much you don't want to touch unless you're buff pretty good. But we'll see some of that. At least yellows later on. Most everything in here is going to be white or blue. Until we get to the, there we go. And I got a level 3. And she's going to heal herself and myself because we both leveled. Now, cleansing the vermin nest, speak with Valara in the slave revolt, speak with Weejin to sell. You can do the optional, it doesn't give you anything if you do it. Weejin is the guy over here. You just run up to him and hail him. Again, it's tutorial. You can see I didn't get anything from that. But then you want to go talk to her. Hail her, and then she gives you a pair of pants. Now, this armor, Glimmering Deep, Cobalt Cloth Sleeves, fantastic armor for beginners. Great stuff. You want to try to get a full set before you leave. The chest, the arms, I don't think there's a waist, but there's 2 wrists, pants, gloves, shoes, and a hat. And I think I've seen it only a few times. The shoulders are pretty rare. And the back, I think, is pretty rare in here, too. So we want to go sell what we have. And then what I normally will do is I take my food, stick it over here. Bandages, which I hardly ever use. Put everything in the bag. Keep 1 arrow out. And then you can sell your whole bag, and it will sell the contents. And that'll give me 1 plat, 5 gold, 7 silver, 5 copper. Yep, I want to sell the contents. Boom, it's done. You don't have to select, I'm going to sell this, I'm going to sell this, I'm going to sell that. You can. But I just like to sell what's there. Now, let's go get some spells here. Now, one thing you can do, you can search by name, alphabetical, backwards and forwards. What I like to do is search by level, and that way it puts the spells in the correct level order. So I can find them easy. I know what I have. And we're going to buy, where, can't get it yet. No, did I just buy that? What did I buy? Trunor Figure. Yeah, Numb the Dead. I usually buy at least what I know and 1 level ahead. Poison Bolt and Laring Corpse. Right? 1 level ahead. Right. Done. And then you can go to your book, click this, put it on your mouse cursor, drop it in, boom. You can also, even if your book is closed, you can right click from your inventory and it'll put what you can in there. Just right click it. That speeds through the process and tells you, hey, you need to be level 4. I usually will take these and move these over here. And then what do we get? So we got Numb the Dead, which is numbs the awareness of undead. So, like if you're fighting a group of skeletons, 3, you can numb the dead 2 of them, which will calm them and let you pull the 1 so that you don't have to fight all 3 at once. I hardly ever use it, to be honest, but we might later. Life Spike is an upgrade of Life Tap. Life Tap is 5 to 6. Life Spike is 8 to 12. 13 mana versus 8, same range. But we will upgrade that. Life Spike. And again, it takes a little bit in your younger days for this to go through. Later on, it gets a lot faster. Once your meditate skill goes up, which while we're sitting here, my meditate skill is going up. Now, you can either open your book and put your spells in, or you can right-click this and select from here what spell you want in the slot. I do it both ways. It's however you want to do it. Now, Grim Aura, surrounds you in the dark, increasing your attack rating for 25 minutes. For right now, we're going to be using that because I don't have my pet yet. Endure Cold is a buff for cold protection, obviously, for 27 minutes. I don't think there's anything in Gloomy Deep that uses cold. It's all fire-based, so we're not going to worry about that. Now, let's double check him. Now, reason why I did that, if you recall the first time, these spells weren't there, right? If you buy your spells, go back in, these spells show up. Why they do that, I don't know. But we're going to take these because this gives you your first pet. These are non-level specific. I think they're all level 1, I believe. Yeah, Necro 1. So they're non-level specific. But we're going to right-click these, add them to the book. So this is going to be your first dot, or damage over time. We want that over here. Sense the Dead allows you to locate dead. You cast it, and it takes and moves your character. Not moves him, but turns him towards the direction of where the undead are. It just takes your person and twists you around to face you in the right direction. That's all it does. I've never used it. Invisibility versus undead. Obvious what that does. Here's your first pet. Cavorting Bones. Undead Servant. And you have to have bone chips to cast it, which is why we want to collect these. So we're going to put that here. Cold Light is a spell so that you can have a light source if you need it. We don't need it. We have a lantern. And then Locate Corpse used to be important. Matter of fact, used to make a lot of money. Being able to find corpses for folks. I don't know how much that is now because you can go to the priest and pull your corpse instead of doing a corpse run. Probably not going to be useful anymore. Reclaim Energy. When you cast your pet, we'll do that now because it's a long cast, right? Bone chip goes away and the pet comes up. And it will, of course, buff the pet immediately. Basically, Reclaim Energy allows you to unsummon this pet and get the mana back. The other thing you can do, of course, is tell him to leave. That will also get him out there. Now, what I normally do, I will take this, make a button, follow, make a button. Again, hold long left click, and that will make it into a button. This I turn on immediately. Sit. You don't have to do this. I like to make these buttons because there are times where I send my pet out and need him back to where I am so that I can cast spells. So I use the back button. The follow button I don't use much. The taunt button I don't use much. The guard button I don't use much. The sit so that he can get health back. And pet leave I don't use a lot. This I usually will move up to here. And I'll put my melee attack here on my thumb button. Or you can vice versa, which is what I'll probably do. Since I'm used to one here, pet attacks on my thumb button. And then I'll minimize this down where it's just that and put it here. Alright. Now let's go back. And now that you've completed that killing rats, you want to talk to these guys again. He'll give you, or she will give you the spider tamer, which you want to take. He will give you Rebellion Reloaded, which is to go find some arrows. Hail them again, and you get Arachnida, which is the spider quest I was telling you about. Now, the reason why I tell you to save that arrow, you can immediately take that arrow and hand it to him, and he will give you a quiver. And that quest is done. Oh, I needed to do those two. True North and Fear. I forgot about those. This quiver, since I'm not going to be using bows, I will take this and go sell it. Because it is also worth a plat. And right now, we need money. Okay, so True North, right? I was telling you about the locate Sense of Dead. We'll do it real quick and I'll show you what it does. True North does the same thing. If you want to know where North is. You don't need that anymore because guess what? They added a compass to the game. So you don't need that. But the Sense of Dead button, you don't sense anything. Right now, there's no undead. Although there is right here, but no creature undead. I don't think there's any in this whole map. But what it would do is spin me and point me, like it would turn me and say, oh, there's undead this direction. Doesn't give you any more information than that. It's pretty worthless. I don't use it. Alright, so we're going to go fight a couple spiders and I'm going to end the video. Again, just to show real quick, if there's any barrels, I will stop and loot them. Always. Every barrel I run to and open. Again, middle mouse button for me. You can tab target, hit the button, and change it. Now, targeting real quick. I don't know why this game does it, but it puts your tab, and when you first log in, I changed mine to target the nearest NPC on tab. They have it as F8. I don't like it. I want tab. So I changed that. It doesn't cycle through NPCs. It only targets the nearest. Alright, so Gloomy Deep Cocoon Silks, that's in these here. You want to click it. Auto greed. If you don't change your no drop item, it'll pop up with a thing saying, hey, this is a no drop item. And here, no trade quest. And you'll have to hit yes to take it. Oh, and he auto attacked me. Alright, so we'll let Gabantic take on this spider. I'm going to siphon his strength. Except he resisted. I'm going to try it again. Wow. He's a tough spider. There we go. Alright, I got his strength. It only gives it to me. It doesn't give it to my pet. But it makes him weaker. And if you look, Gabantic here taking a lot of damage by that spider. But she's going to keep him up. But he's such low level right now. The level 1 pet's not really worth a lot. Right now, he's just more like an extra DPS. Till I get the better pet, I'm going to turn taunt off because I don't want him taunting right now. I can probably tank better than my skeleton can. So normally what I would do, there's one, I would hit, send the pet in, right? Pet attack on my thumb button. And then sit down. Let pet do the work. Now, we do have this spell, Disease Cloud. I'm going to put that over here. And we'll cast that. And that will do damage to him as I sit down. Boom, he's dead. And that, I think, will end it here. Eventually, we're going to take 12 of these guys on. We got to fight this guy. He's level 5, I think. Yeah. Level 5. We can take him with the better pet. I'm going to wait till I'm level 4. Because I already own the pet. Here's another damage over time spell. And Poison Bolt is a damage over time, which the Necromancer is very good at. And Lyrian Corpse. This is a level 4 pet that we want to use to fight this guy. But we'll do that on the next video. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you have a good day. And we'll see you next time. Thank you.